Small in stature, but big in heart. Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Thorin, king of Durin's folk. This short king is going to be bringing an entire company of dwarves to your door. Whether those are dwarves that make equipment, discount equipment, make your equipment auto-equip, give you double strike, draw and discard, or, well, okay, there's a lot of dwarves and they do a lot of stuff and a lot of it has to do with equipment or treasures, which is why this deck has a lot of equipment in it. Some even are equipment that make treasures, like Orcrist, which I currently don't actually have in my list because I'm running Sword of Hearth and Home, which can instead blink my dwarves to get more treasures. I know, it's a little strange, but I love the protection from green and white as one of the options in this deck. This deck is not the best because it's playing a fairly narrow, creature type. There's not that many dwarves, but we are playing the best dwarves there are. Whether they're from Eldraine, like the 7 dwarves made by the Jewel Mine Overseer, or they're the dwarves of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, we have all sorts of dwarves and some extra treasure makers like Smaug and Ragavan. This deck wants to make tons of dwarves, make tons of treasures, and then swing in for a lot of damage. And if you're worried about not having enough dwarves or your dwarves not being strong enough, don't worry, we have an unexpected party as well. We can also double up our tokens and our other things using things like Roaming Throne and make every dwarf stronger with the Arkenstone. Look, it's on theme because it's the Arkenstone. So let's take Thorin, king of Durin's folk, into the queue and see if we can dig a little deeper. Baron Helmut Zemo. I've matched into this same person on Zemo earlier today. And they are, like most other Zemo decks, looking to fill up their graveyard with tons of black pips and then cast those spells for free by swinging in. Also getting a little bit of connive to grow their commander by casting black spells from hand. I have a turn 2 Magda. I would probably go Magda over Dagon first, because Dagon does not tap for his attack. Admittedly, the Magna might just die. Oh, or might get hit from my hand. Okay, R.I.P. Magda. We got Relic Amulet, Treasure Chest, and 50 feet of rope. Wow, 3 terrible options. I guess I'll take the Treasure Chest. It could make me treasures, guys. Maybe. It could. Yeah, this is 3 mana, and if you get unlucky, you are paying 7 mana total to make 5 treasure tokens, and that is it. Well, here it is. I can see going like Cloud Boots here even. Now, Roaming Throne, naming, you already know, dwarf. And it's him! Tourach, gonna hit my hand here, that's rough. My dwarf and not dwarf! No! Alright, let's crack that treasure chest. I low rolled. I guess I could have actually gone Thorin into Keely. Because we would have used up all the treasures. Alright, let's see what's in the graveyard so far. 1, 2, 3 pips. Pip, pip. Hooray! Yeah, I'm storied now. I have cards that care about being storied. And I have cards that care about being dwarves. Keely will draw me a card because dwarf. Unfortunately, only triggers once a turn. Ooh. I'm gonna get rid of some of the buff here because it doesn't really matter against their cards. To get a better buff. Dwarves, dwarves, dwarves. Dwarves, 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 dwarves. And we're gonna spend 2 for a little bit more. And now Gyat is a 7-2. Sorry, 9-2 with first strike. Double strike. Lot of strike. It's dwarves all the way down. Superior. Spider-Man. They're gonna tutor things into the graveyard and then become them. Very notably, this deck is going to be a lot more consistent than mine because you have direct tutors to get things into the grave. You can discard and draw, and you also have access to all sorts of counter spells and kill spells since you don't actually need that many good reanimatable creatures. Whereas I am running dwarves. Very few dwarves across the history of Magic have ever been printed. Many of them are not good, but I'll still do my best. Look, it's one of our best dwarves, Roaming Throne. A Spell Pierce on the Signet? No ramping for me. Scavenger's Talent, a good way to fill up the graveyard on stuff being sacrificed. There's no creatures for me to exile, so I guess I'll play the Sword of Feast and Famine. Yeah, funny looking dwarves here. I also tried to get treasure synergy in. You know, do your best. Alright, DWARF, Dwarf. He's got Ward too. That's really good for a dwarf. They do not have 3 non-land permanents, so they cannot use that to reanimate. Sword of Feast and Famine should be giving me a full untap. So I'm going to spend all this mana first. They discard, I untap, and I'm going to play Smog the Magnificent. They discarded Notion Thief. So look, now you have something to reanimate. Look, now all my creatures are dead. I guess I should hit Scavenger's Talent because they put so much mana into it. Oh, never mind. Spell Snare. Hi, Liliana. Oh, first they're reanimating Smaug. Then they're making me discard. Here's the good news. Since they stole my creature, I can bring her to the festival. And then when this inevitably dies, I can bring it back. Okay, so we will give you boots with the spurs and swing into Lily. They're also down to 11 life. That's kind of nice. What would you like to become a copy of, Spider-Man? Notion Thief? Roaming Throne? Maybe a dedicated doll maker? What a doll. Would Ephemerate put Smog back on my battlefield? If I blinked this with it under it, but I can't blink my opponent's creatures. It's only creatures you control. I just want to kill Liliana. Okay, she's gone. There are some blink cards that you can use as both removal and like on your own cards. There's like a 2 mana one from Bloomborough that's really good at that. Ah, Glowin! Gets you a little bit of treasure, a little bit of historic stuff. I get more damage if I lead with Thorin, but I get Yeah. And then I can just play Glowing after. Oh, let's see if this resolves first. Yeah, Parting Gust, I think, is the Bloomborough one. I didn't give him haste because I want to hold up the ward. Okay, rip Thorin. Looks I was right to do so. And we're gonna move the equipment over onto Glowing. Because if the Fairgrounds Warden dies, then that's, like, just fine with me. What's up, Liliana? Nothing too spicy to reanimate, just Lazav, Wearer of Faces. Yeah, this person, seems to be running less of the combo Cavero that I'm used to seeing. And I'll say that's a great thing for me. Scavenger's Talent, would you like to sacrifice all your permanents? Do I want to goad anyone? I don't really feel I need to goad anyone. Ooh. Keely and Keely. They're so cute. Thorin again, we're nice and wide. It's a Kitsa. Another way to loot, drawing and discarding. Alright, so there's a good reanimation target. Conspiracy Unraveler. Cavero into Arden into Ulamog. Like, we haven't all seen it 2,000 times. Alright, we want to give DePaula haste. Because she deserves it. Would I pay X? I'll pay 2. Oh, did I have lethal off, like, trying to force Thorin out? No, because I think I used the treasure to get the treasures back. Nice! We eventually got there. Thranduil, the Elven King. I actually built this deck, and you can do some infinite combos with it. Which is scary, because, you can also do elf ball things with it. If you are playing cards like Buried Alive and Entomb, you can throw cards like Devoted Druid into your graveyard and turn your commander, Thranduil, into a very devout druid. Getting all those activated abilities, kind of like a Agatha's Soul Cauldron. And yes, there are ways to combine abilities to do things like draw infinite cards, gain infinite mana. All of this and more. Hi, Incubation Druid. Hi, Lathril. Oh, also, if you play lots of legendaries, which I assume you do, you get that draw and discard effect. Or Chanter Scald. This is a fairly unnotable dwarf most of the time, but it's notable here because it makes more dwarves. There are very few dwarves that make more dwarves. And this one also is part of the equipment theme, so yay. 1,000-year elixir. Ooh, gonna give them, essentially haste. I'm gonna bring out the Sword of Forge and Frontier, put it on this War Chanter Scald, swing in through the tokens, get a dwarf. Alright, Gathering Stone and Swords to Plowshares. Play the additional land. Sword to Plowshares with Lathril. Gathering Stone just goes away. Birds of Paradise can tap for mana right away thanks to 1,000-year elixir. Also, if you want something that's like 1,000-year elixir, but is a creature. It's not an elf, but it still works really well. Shang-Chi is the same vibe. You can also run Tyvar that does some self-milling and bringing things back. I put Tyvar in mine. Tyvar's also like, he is an elf. What's up, Selvala? I mean, I'll get to play lands since, like, this gets through. Yeah, we ball. Thorin, king of Durin's folk. He is tied for the same size as largest creature. But then we get the treasure. I'm gonna swing in. Thorin sees the dwarf, gets me another treasure. And we'll see what the sword of this and that gets me. And I have 3 mana up. Oh, boots! With the spurs? With the spurs. Oh yeah, they get the free equip. Nice. I'll throw them onto Thorin. And I will pass the turn. I want to save the Sundering Eruption for a potential lethal swing. Here comes Thranduil. My dwarf is bigger than your pathetic fancy boy elf. But you also have, like, so much mana. Yep, tap for 5, untap it, tap for another 5. Okay, is there anything I can do here? I don't think there is. Well, here's the unfortunate thing here. Staff of Domination with Selvala means they have infinite mana, infinite card draw, and infinite everything. An infinite pain in the butt. Autopass, I need you to work here. Or do they not? Are they at the break-even point? One sec. They have net 4 mana on this. 4 is actually just infinite untaps, so it doesn't get them infinite mana. They would need 1 more power in play, because Selvala costs 1 to activate each time. Okay, cool. Well, I have a Witch Enchanter, we destroy it, and then I guess we win. Look at me thinking that they had infinite. They were short by 1. They're Bjorn to be wild. Bjorn the Feast is a bear commander that turns other things into bears, draws you cards, makes things huge, gives them trample. I would say it is one of the best mono-green stompy commanders because it's doing everything. Typically, you either get ramp or you get buffs, or maybe you get card advantage. Bjorn is doing both buffs and card advantage, which is just unusual. Ooh, glowing. I really need lands, or I would go for that, because this is ramp. We just have to get to 4 first. An Arboreal Grazer. Guess we go Keely first. Hoping to get to draw some cards off a dwarf next turn. It's Bear Force 3. We got a Eula, we got Kudo, we got Bjorn. What's up, Fanatic of Ronus? All I got was Cloud. I don't have any free equipment in the deck, so I won't be able to draw off Keely. I should probably go for something like Umazawa's Jide or Lightning Greaves. But they have enough mana, probably, to just, you know, play Bjorn. Oh, into Gwenna. Surprised they didn't go Gwenna first. Oh, they couldn't because of Fanatic. Right, because it needs to tap for 4. Cloud is an honorary dwarf for the purposes of this deck. Fairgrounds Warden. I can exile Bjorn. They will be able to play him again next turn. Turn, say, Gwenna into a bear. But at least it would use most of their mana. I'm almost storied. If I play Buster Sword, I can put the Buster Sword onto Cloud for free. But I don't know, even a busted up Cloud. He's not getting through. He's not getting damage through. Oh, what's up, Big Wilson? Oh yeah, this is a deck full of short kings. Cloud never gave me tall guy energy. So now Bjorn is drawing them cards, buffing up these critters. Elvish Mystic. Cool. Got myself a Stoneforge Mystic as well. Yep. Stoneforge. Feast and Famine and Forge and Frontier are the two ones that give me protection from their colors. Draw a card off Keeley. It's a land, nice. And I get to equip this for free, and I will put it on Cloud. Also swinging in with Cloud. I can kill Bjorn here. And sure, they can play him again. But at least that takes up most of the turn, right? Come on. Almost. There we go. The bears shrink. Fairgrounds Warden, you are most likely to just be my chump blocker here. Oh, okay. They didn't go for tapping their, like, Mystic and stuff first. Oh my god, you still have enough mana for Bjorn. Gwenna, are you about to become a bear? I feel like Gwenna's gonna become a bear. What? Wilson's already a bear! Take 8. This would make colorless creatures, but it is tapped right now. And this is once a turn, right? Yeah. Wait, no. Just gotta believe. Why did I bring in Buster Sword? Oh, because I can't do that twice. You goober. Yeah, I should have put the G-Day on him. Rayav's good, double strike. But I'm pretty sure I'm just double dead. Especially since you make an Aura Baroid. And, well... I mean, the pun speaks for itself. Good game. Come on. Put it on. No. Put it on the Ouroboros. It gets +2/+2, and then it gives +3/+3. Yeah, this is your sign that you should try playing Bjorn. Get it because he's a bear? Ah, one of my company, Dwallin Weapon Master. I have a 1 mana and 2 mana dwarf. Actually, I have 2 different 1 mana dwarves. And they're going to be playing Equipment and Honing It. Dwallin, I think, is a really cool design. This idea of making your equipment stronger. He can even make equipment stronger that doesn't normally grant power, which to me is just a cool idea for a design. I'll play this Dwarven Mauler. Holla holla, get Mala. Dwallin's in my deck. He's a 2-mana 2/1. That's better than most dwarves are. No offense, 1-mana 2/1 Dwarven Mauler. I'll bring out Thorin Oakenshield and begin my story. Once we get an enduring story, I'll give my artifacts and creatures ward 1. I'd say that, like, as far as alternate commanders go, this Thorin is just kind of generically small and generically good. It doesn't actually do anything specific to dwarves other than being one. Nice rabbit battery. Patchwork banner named Dwarf. There we go. Play a dwarf. Swing in. And Dwallin right here. I'm not actually sure how Hone will work. I guess it just changes the equip ability. Yeah. Right? Each Hone counter grants +1/+0 to an equipped creature. They have a G-Day, they have the Hone, they can give him haste. And since he has first strike, they will get in an attack. They have Honed again. That's really cool. Yeah, so like this normally does not actually give power. But in Dwallin's hand, like the G-Day is pretty cool. Would need another mana in order to do this. I'd love to get to play Feely here, but I think I need to hold up my lightning bolt. And wait, would it have been lethal? It would have been +3, but then I wouldn't have been able to lightning bolt. No, I got that right. I will turn Dwarven Mauler into an artifact, so I am storied. Yeah, this would have been up like 3 more damage. A dwarf aggro. A goblin Morningstar. Cool. Yeah, also notable things about Dwallin. His shoulders. Look at this dude. He's like 80% shoulder by volume. They're 3 life. They're 3 life. Ah! And they blasted themselves before I could blast them. Nice. Tom, Bert, and William! They're going to be sacrificing creatures to draw tons of cards. Having this Umezawa's Jide makes this a pretty tempting hand. But with only 2 lands, I'm going to throw it back. And I'm happy to see Magda here. I'm always happy to see Magda. She's awesome. Bring out some boots. Girl, you look so good in boots. These are the 3 trolls that Bilbo runs across that are arguing about eating him, if I remember right. But then they argue until daylight, and the sun hits them and they turn to stone. So that's why when it dies, it comes back and it's an artifact. Night's Whisper. Draw cards. Lose life. I can play Magda this turn, even though I can't tap or do anything like that with her. She's still pretty good, though. One of the few Dwarf Lords we have. Magda, Depala, Thorin. Oh. Deluge. Yeah, I guess I am a loser. Get myself some more white mana. And play Dan Ironfoot. We'll get some double strikes swinging in for all the equipped creatures. They cultivate. Gotta ramp up to play those high power creatures. Bringing out Feely, the Pathfinder, to make a dwarf. Watch me just get board wiped again. It could happen. Considering that they were willing to Toxic Deluge for literally just Magda, I feel like they might have like a damnation, which would be a shame because dwarves are not that good at card advantage. Relic Golem, that is a 3-mana 6/6. There's also like a werewolf that's a 2-mana 5/5. There's some very funny creatures for this. All right, rather than destroy you, I would rather play Thorin, King of Durin's Folk, which will get me a dwarf. That's insulting to them. I shouldn't be so cruel. Which will get me a treasure. I could use one to give haste. Oh wait, do we just already have lethal? Doesn't matter, I'm giving haste. Swinging in. Awesome. That's like, I kind of expected like a fatal push. They didn't seem to have one. Nice. Also, some double strike was gonna happen. Belladonna Took. If I remember right, this is Bilbo's mother? What's up, mama? How you doing? I guess I can, drop the Cavern of Souls or the Clifftop Retreat here since, well, there's not that many counterspells in white. There's one. Belladonna Took is, tokens. This might be a heir apparent deck. Because it's the more tokens you have enter, the more you get. Gaining life, drawing cards, putting counters on your creatures. Okay, good news. I don't think it's heir apparent. And I will name Dwarf. And then I will play a card that's actually not a dwarf. Jewel Mine Overseer. Jewel Mine Overseer puts the 7 dwarves in my deck. But they are the 7 dwarves that very much are better because they draw a card. Also, this gives me card advantage, putting a card over here in exile every turn. Okay, so they're life gain. And unfortunately, my creatures will be tapped. Hi, Ballin. I wish I could be ballin' right now. Ballin' for real. I'm gonna play Feely. Oh, I guess I should have attacked first because of, yeah, that. But I'd rather have a block. Belladonna Took. When tokens enter, life gain happens. And since they make a toy, life gain happens. Now I just need a land. And then we're off to the races. We have 2 chances at a land with Jewel Mine in the top of my deck. But they will have a very large creature because I will be letting them gain a lot of life. Early authorities can be rough against decks. All right, nice. There's a Plains. Oh, and Glowing the Mighty. This easy pickings might be useful later. A little late on it now. Thorin comes down, and Feely is going to give us some cool triggers here. No! Unless he's dead! Ugh. I was gonna get dwarf tokens. No dwarf tokens for me. All right, then. Essence Channeler swinging in. Dollmaker Shop triggering. And I'm going to try for a double block. Wait a minute. Yeah, I have 7. I was like, they can gain another life here that I can see with Fountain Port. Ah. There's 1 life. And a +1/+1 counter. Right? Oh no, just the +1/+1 counter, because this was the first one. How can 1 card do so much for 1 mana? The fact they put this in Foundations is also wild. So it is legal and standard for the next, like, couple years. Since these all have +1/+1 counters, my dreams of, easy pickings ain't so easy anymore. I could destroy this, dummy thick toy? I probably should. Alright, so I'm gonna go Zorn. Yeah. Into Plundering Barbarian. And the plunder from down under is gonna destroy a big toy. Now, Thorin doesn't buff himself, which is kind of a bummer. And once they're at 6 mana, they can just unlock the Porcelain Gallery. And now all of these are a little bigger and a little scarier. In fact, they are swinging for lethal. I'll block Belladonna. Yeah, I'll probably end up brewing Belladonna. I feel like we're gonna see it as just a Heirs Apparent deck a lot of the time, which is unfortunate, because, like, you know, people could do better. I don't think I have any way to kill enough creatures or to, like, get through here. I have an unexpected party and I have enough mana to spend for it, but all the dwarves are tapped. So, I guess I'll show them my dwarves. All 7 of them? Do I have 7? 6? Oh, right, because it's 3 as the base. And I'll say good game. Yeah. The 6 dwarves just, it's roll off the tongue as well. What's up, Cat Collector? Is there a hasty aggro deck in Standard? I don't think so. Thorin, I think you're losing your place in the deck. Which is heartbreaking. Because there's only so many cards with treasure synergy out there. The Serpent Society. Targeting them is going to cause me to get a little poison. And the Serpent Society also can have a sacrifice sub-theme, because whenever your death-touching creatures die, your opponent has to sacrifice a non-token creature, which are most of the creatures in this deck. There's only so many dwarves. What's up, Gemstone Caverns? I do need land. I'm gonna keep this. 5 mana commander. How it is. What's up, Ochu? Gonna play Stoneforge Mystic. And I would like protection from black and green. While there's only, like, the 2 of us. Just the 2 of us. I'll trade with the Ochu. Osteomancer Adept. Death Toucher that can replay things from the graveyard. Nice. I'll play Keely. Into Bofer. And I know what you're all thinking. I don't need to say it. You're thinking it. Keely draws me a card because this is a dwarf. Hey, I ain't blocking. Yeah. Roaming Throne, naming dwarf. I will draw 1 card. I have 5 mana, which means I could either go for Thorin, who would immediately make me some mana, or sort of this and that. Sort of yummy and hungry. I think it's best to go for sort of yummy and hungry first. Draw a card, and then I get the untap, and I can go for Thorin after. Ooh, Chthonian Nightmare! Okay, so I will drop Bofer. Because, I mean, it's not doing anything for me here. I chew. Oh, chew. Sort of Feast and Famine. Draw a card. Ooh, Magda! Crime Magda. Oh, and I even get a free equip? How lovely. I think I want to swing with Roaming Throne. It's just more damage. Dwallin to hone my sword. Double hone! They discard, but remember, they do have Chthonian Nightmare, so it's easy for them to bring things back. Thorin. Nice. And I could move this over, but I think I'd rather hold swords to plowshares here. I could also go, like, Magda into swords. But my plan is, when they cast Chthonian Nightmare, I'm going to get that poison on me. In response... Yeah, hit me with that poisson. Ooh, unless, can you give it some hexproof? No, Flare of Malice in response. And they could not sacrifice any of these because they're not black. Would I like to get the 5 poison? No. I mean, like, a little, but no. Tifa Lockhart. She is going to be doubling her power, doubling her power, doubling her power, and doubling her power until I get taken down bright and early. I guess I can keep this. I don't have removal for Tifa, but I have very little removal in this deck because I'm busy trying to play dwarves. Dwarves and equipment and dwarves. I sort of have removal here. It's Smaug, the Magnificent. And I have the ability to make treasures, so Smaug deals more damage. And I don't know, maybe they'll play a bunch of 1/1s, and I can kill those. It's easy pickings. Come on, Tifa, can't be that hard to figure out. You got a fetch in there? A Roiling Regrowth, a Harrow, maybe Exploration. Maybe they will simply not have ramp. Yeah, we can hope. Well, you strike it rich. Ooh. Yeah, I'll play Yat, and I'm gonna drop a War Chanter Scald since I don't have equipment. He's a dwarf guy. Here comes Tifa. I'll throw down Smaug. And I feel like, no matter what, I'm not going to be good at blocking here. So in we go! With Yat and Smaug. Now, I might die here. Tifa killing on turn 3 is unfortunately not just possible, but frequently happens. Especially because I did fetch once to get red. Meaning, you know, 24 is an easy target to hit. It's a power of 2 right there. Well, not quite, but it becomes a power 2 with things like Skyclave Axe. They have a fetch. You want to stack those triggers so you get the buffins before the double. Oh, and a Titanic Growth in the middle. Wow, look at that. Tifa swinging for 36 damage on turn 3. I feel like I really got to be involved in that game. It is crazy to me that this matches into Rofellos. And I don't mean like matches into Rofellos once. I mean matches into Rofellos repeatedly. This is like the 4th Rofellos I've seen with this deck. And this is not going to be a surprise. I'm not winning the games against Rofellos. Because I'm not running that much removal. Because I'm a dwarf deck. Dwarves don't really have much built-in removal. I'll still do my best. Alright, Dwarven Mauler, swing and get me a treasure. Yeah, maybe I'll get to chainsaw him this game. I wouldn't mind that. He feels like a chainsawable card. Yeah, who knows? Maybe this will be my one win against Rofellos. Like Healy. Chainsaw draws me a card. Oh, okay. I see how it is. So if I do actually have my removal on turn 2 for Rofellos, then they just leave. Vraan, Executioner, Thane. I imagine this is going to be a bit like a Sephiroth deck, but sacrificing maybe just 1 a turn, since that gives you the biggest drain. I have a turn 1 Dwarven Mauler into Magda, but they're going to have removal, because, well, their commander is Vraan. Creatures dying cause life loss of 2, and then they gain 2. Oh, what's up, Bob? I'm gonna beef up this Dwarven Mauler and swing on in. Gets me a treasure. Yeah, Magda's kind of like... honestly, the best dwarf. Zur Ashul Lich Lord. Oh, I remember how hard this card was to get rolling. Let's you recast a zombie creature. And she is a zombie creature. Well, unfortunately, Best Dwarf is down. I would like to have another white source, so I'll do this. I don't have any equipment in hand, which is too bad, considering all of the equipment stuff I got here. I'm going to use the Fairground Wardens to try to hit their commander. Yeah, you're not a zombie, right? No, you're a Phyrexian Vampire. Yeah, Rayav and Cole are both equipment matters dwarves. And so is Thorin. It's almost like there's a reason why there's so many equipment in this deck. It's because like half the dwarves care about equipment. Oh, a Caustic Exhale. That's a 2-mana kill one of my creatures. Spiteful Hexmage. They're cursing him. Smaug, but I won't have a treasure. There are 40 lands in this deck, by the way. I'll still play Smaug. I will deal 0 damage. But next turn, maybe I'll get to do 1 damage. Oh, nope, never mind. They fell the dragon. No, I kind of like how much life you've been losing. One day, maybe, I'll get 4th land. One day. Dang it, Bob! Not hurting them this turn. Another kill spell. They go for the throat. That's another dwarf down. And a Skyclave Shade. Can't block, but has a landfall recursion. Okay, come on. There are 41 lands in the deck. You sure have a lot of kill spells, Vraan. Oh, his tragic backstory. Yup. I'm gonna dash in with Ragavan, bring them to 2, and hope Bob kills them. I just gotta believe in the Bob. What, are you not blocking? You block Ragavan. Nani desu ka? Okay. There we go. Yeah! Bob was working for me the whole time. That's why I never got a third or fourth mana. Tourach, Dread Canter, going to make us discard. And I have a little card advantage in hand, so maybe I'll be able to sustain myself. This is going to be a lot of removal spells, though, whether it's removing things from my hand or from the board. Or, I guess, from my graveyard. I'm gonna lead with the Keeley. Somebody asked me if I had to unban a card from Commander, what would I unban? Yeah, I think the answer is Chaos Orb. And I think it's like just the straight up right answer. What do you guys think? Are you allowed to tear it up? Then it's, and I don't believe legally playable after that point. Okay, before I get to draw a card, they killed Keeley. Yeah, guys, we could unban Leovold and just be like, hey, if I have to deal with it in Brawl, you have to deal with it there. Alright, they hit removal and unfortunately the other card advantage piece. Just to get it out of my hand, I might want to play Seek the Heart. And grab Magda. Not that one, this one. Yeah. I think the answer is Chaos Orb. It's probably also like the only card that unbanning it does not change the power level of any deck. It is purely funny. Motivated Muralist, I could equip. But I'd rather play Magda. Yeah, most cards that are on the Commander ban list, I would say, are solidly mistakes of cards. Or just, you know, they're very old. It's before they had really locked in design. Oh, is Falling Star also banned? Yeah, because it's a dexterity card. But Chaos Orb is more fun, so that's the one we should do. If you're wondering why not block and trade, it's because I want treasures! Oh, well, never mind. Board wipe. Okay, there go my dwarven dreams. My dwarven dreams are done for. I'll play Gathering Stone to discount my dwarves. I still have like 30 dwarves in the deck. Wolf. Sigarda's Aid. Not what I need right now, and it's also not a dwarf. Opposition Agent. That'll hurt if we tutor again. I already tutored once. I got my Magda. There goes Inspiring Statuary and Lightning Bolt. Do it. Yeah! Everflame gets to live its best life. Look! Look, it's an equipment! Okay. I play Thorin, I get a treasure, I use the treasure to give him a stick. That way I can block Tourach. Unless he gets killed, in which case, rippin' peppies. I'm like legit looking at the ban list and it's like, oh yeah, ooh, a lot of unfun cards here. Oh, what's up, Liliana? We plus and a minusin'. Oh right, pro white, so I have to block a opposition agent. They draw a card. Raging River's not banned. Banned, no. Funny, yes. They give him the stick, and he hits me in the face and I die. What's with the little footstep animation? I don't know, all the dwarves have it. The Great Goblin is either just goblins or specifically counters on goblins. Whether those counters are +1/+1 counters or maybe some blight like a -1/-1 counter, it doesn't matter. Great Goblin's going to deal damage to your opponent. And if your goblins die, you get card advantage. I found playing the Great Goblin to be really fun. I think that this is a cool and unique goblin commander if you build specifically around its abilities, which I know I did when I was building it. It was really fun. I'm gonna play this Iron Hills Blacksmith, which I believe will still trigger Sigarda's Aid and get a free equip. Oh, well, it won't if it's on fire. That's a shame. Yeah, it doesn't say non-token equipment. I don't think that token equipment existed when Sigarda's Aid was printed. Can I hit a token on this? No. Yeah. I just want to make sure I have a creature because I have Sword of this and Sword of that. Also, dwarf. Hi, Great Goblin. I see you descending. Descending into the deep pits of goblinidom. Sword of Fire and Ice. Throw that onto the Doll Maker. Swing in. I have this extra mana, so here's a Jide as well. And I guess we deal the 2 damage to Great Goblin. Draw a card. And I should be good at killing other goblins with the Jide. This is just like a good equipment start here, getting like the Sigarda's Aid. Alright, so now I don't have a creature. That's fine. Where are your goblins? I hate to ask this, but like so far, this doesn't feel like a goblin deck at all. Maybe they're only... Okay, I think I know what this is. There's an infinite combo you can run with the Great Goblin. So I guess to min-max it, you just run Control, Filtering, and then you know, you do the combo. What in the world? Alright. Healy? Yeah, I feel like that's such a lame way to build this deck. Come on, man. You're running a Great Goblin. Where's your goblins? Gandalf, party guest. Hey, he's from the same scene as Thorin. They're going to be casting instants and sorceries for free based on their legendary wizard count. So I expect to see wizards and wizards and wizards. And you might notice, oh, my commander's different in this game. Yeah, I figured I would see what happens if I play Byfer as the commander. Well, I'll actually tell you that the first thing that happened is that I matched into Raph and Mikey, and for some reason they conceded. So now we get to play against Gandalf. Wizards! I mean, I'd rather play against Gandalf than Inala, I think. You like this? Yeah, look at this face. What a happy-looking dwarf over there. He's like, oh, this tea is amazing. Brawl, sadly a wizard. A wizard that I am going to kill. Okay, where's, yeah, Sacred Foundry. I don't like him. He discounts their counterspells. Also, he is a legendary wizard. Dane's Company. I could use an equipment with these guys. Umezawa's Jide, that's an equipment. There was also, Crime Magda there. At 3 mana. Is it almost whiz o'clock? Keely and Keely. Umezawa's Jide. But wait! It's a negate! See, aren't you glad that I killed that Brawl? It enters tapped. Good. I'll play Biker, and I will put a counter onto Dane's Company. I do not actually have an enduring story yet, so I don't get the double counters. Yeah, he's a Dwarf Harmonicon. And I figured, you know what, just for a game, let's get silly with it, right? Dwarf Harmonicon in the command zone? Do you want to play Gandalf? Oh, hi, Scraps. Bye, Scraps. She just walked by. Yeah, I like that this triggers on enter or attack. Gandalf? Oh. Well, I guess what happens if you play Bifer is you just get opponents randomly conceding. Because it happened twice. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. Oh, Thorin. Oh, Thorin. I wish you were a little better. I wish you buffed yourself. Oh, Thorin, I wish you gave toughness. Oh, Thorin, you're just fine. I feel like dwarves are just in this odd place where you want to play a two-color dwarf. And as far as the legends go, you have Depala, Gyat, Khal, Rayav, Thorin, and Thorin as your choices. And the only ones that actually buff your dwarves are Thorin and Depala, which makes it kind of tricky to say, yeah, these are the ones I want to play. There's actually a 6-mana uncommon that I kind of want to try as the alternate commander for this deck, because well, Thorin is just a little bit odd as a commander. It matches fairly highly. I actually had to record for like 4 hours to get the footage for this, because we kept matching into combo decks. We matched into like a deck that could loop extra turns. We matched into Rofellos, his best friend Rofellos, and Rofellos again. I did keep in the Tifa that killed me on turn 3, because, I don't know, it feels weird to me that Thorin would ever see these commanders anyway. I'm playing dwarves, and I wish dwarves would, I don't know, match up against other janky typal decks. Like, what's another creature type that has some support but not a lot of support? They should all get to hang out together. Let Thorin hold hands with the other weird creatures out there. That would be great. But if you are determined to play Thorin as your commander, you can find my deck list in the description of the video. And if you would like to suggest a commander for me to brew, just as this was a suggested commander, please let me know in the description. I'm also going to let you know we have 2 non-Hobbit decks coming up. Yeah, I did Assassins recently. Mutants is fun. Because we have a couple new big dogs who have supported the channel through the membership program and have requested, well, one of them wants Ironheart, which is going to be a bit of Paradox engineering, and the other one would like Vraan specifically for the competitive Brawl queue. So if you like those decks, you have those to look forward to. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.